Hey, so so after my webinar on systems that I ran last Thursday, which I will say was a learning experience, or a testing and development experience, but I'll say that much. But I thought what I might do from here is like really take the opportunity to, I guess, take some of the key points from my presentation webinar and actually just do boil them down to like one key point per video, and like actually put out these videos just to touch on those videos and maybe touch on those points and maybe expand on them a bit more. So I guess the first point I wanted to bring up here is, what are systems? And it's going back to, I think, a video I did before the webinar on where I talked about introduce this Kanban system and like essentially a strategy or a system of process. But then I guess so. Revisiting the question of what are systems really, the simplest definition, one that comes from systems dynamics and Jay Forrester and Donella Meadows from MIT. The definition being that systems are essentially interconnected components coherently organized to achieve a purpose or function. So there's three parts there. So there's a set of interconnected components. So a system is not just one thing. It's more made up of a whole bunch of parts, and those parts add up to be greater than the sum of the whole adds up to be greater than the sum of the parts, because they interconnect with each other, and by way of how they're interconnected, they produce an effect far beyond what they are individually. So interconnected parts coherently organized. So organized in such a manner that they make sense and that they're easy to make sense of, easy to use. Easy to use in the case of a process-based system, process-based system. So a strategy. And also last one. So interconnected components, coherently organized, and to achieve a purpose or a function. So that's the notion being that systems like the components exist to achieve a certain function. I think it's really interesting to consider that applies to more than just, when we typically think about systems, we think about the technology we're using, the stuff that's outside of us, whether the structures we have in our business, what are the categories of in our business, so whether they be functional divisions or whatever, but also internal systems. So internal family systems, that's an example. Belief systems, that's really interesting how so looking at the interconnected components of beliefs, so you have several different beliefs, they all interconnected with each other. There may be correlation, there may be causality. So causality meaning that one tends to cause another, one belief tends to cause another belief, or one component causes another component to act a certain way. And then it's interesting to note, when you talk about belief systems, how one belief often gives rise to other beliefs or other sets of behaviors, such as a belief that you're not good enough tends to lead you to behave apprehensively when it comes to trying something new, or it tends to lead to self-doubt, but then also you sell yourself short, and don't we all suffer from that a little bit? But so interesting to consider that the systems are ultimately interconnected components that work together towards a certain function. So our beliefs serve the purpose of developing our worldview, or how we perceive the world, or how we perceive things work, and that's the purpose of our belief system. And so where am I going with this? I think that I might just wrap that video up there, because there's a lot more that I could dive into, but I'm freaking out and a little bit lost right now. So I guess I'll leave you with the key idea, that being that systems systems tend to create their own behavior by way of how the parts and components are connected. But I think I'll leave that for another video, and just leave this video here. And I don't know. I'm thinking I might actually do another rerun of the webinar because the first one I had some technical issues. Trying out Microsoft Teams, which I do like some aspects of Microsoft Teams better than I do Zoom. I find Zoom a bit glitchy with might just be me on my Linux operating system, but I don't know. But I do like some aspects of Teams. I might try another video conferencing platform. I've actually found a really cool free one that actually looks pretty cool for certain circumstances. So I might even have a look at that. I think what I might actually do is like do a bunch of webinars and not record them, so they'll never see the light of day again. But then just do them over and over again, just as practice to get better at it. So it's basically my system for learning. So I don't know. I'm thinking I might maybe try another webinar for this Saturday, and I'll share the details with you, and hopefully look forward to seeing some of you there. Thanks for watching. Cheers.